Hello everyone, I am Veena Gandhi. Welcome you all again in Basic C Programming course. Today in this video you will learn main topic functions part 1. The topics covered in this video are what is the need of function, what do you mean by function, types of functions, how to declare, define and call user-defined functions, examples of user-defined functions, and assignment on about topic. The function. What is the need of function? Functions are the basic building block of any C program. Now, if you want to solve any complex task, you divide that task into subtasks or submodules. Then you solve the submodules or subtasks and combine all the solution to get the final output. Now, the subtasks or submodules are known as function, which perform some specific task. So, functions support the modularity concept. This subtask or submodule is known as a functions, and it improves the readability of the code. Instead of writing one main program, one big main function, you can divide the code into what sub function. You can divide the code into functions or modules, which will be easier for debugging as well as finding the errors. If you write the code in terms of function, debugging will be more easier. Error could be found very easily. If you want some task multiple times, then we can use function. For example, suppose if you want factorial of a number and you want factorial of a number at multiple times at different places in the same program. So you will write 4 lines of code at different places. It will increase the size of the C program. Instead of that, if you write factorial code for factorial in a function, and once you define function for factorial, you can call the function at multiple places. Means duplicate set of statements will be replaced by only single statement by function call. So it will reduce the size of the code. Also, if you store that factorial function in a header file, so any program can use that function in their program instead of writing the same code from the scratch. Means it supports the reusability of the code. The same function can be used in any program rather than writing the same code from the scratch. So it reduces the it supports the reusability. It's reduce the size of the code. Debugging also easy, and improves the reliability and supports the modularity concept. That's why functions are the main basic building blocks of the C program. Let us see definition of function. A function is a name, independent or self-contained block of C code that performs some specific task and may receive values from the calling program and optionally returns a value to the calling part or program. Means every function have meaningful unique name and it contains a block of code which is independent or self-contained that performs some specific task. Now, this function may receive the parameters or input data from the calling function or from the calling program, and after performing the task, this called function may return the value to the calling part. Types of functions. There are 2 types of functions: predefined functions and user-defined functions. A predefined function are also known as standard library function or inbuilt function, because these are the functions which come along with the compiler and placed in the libraries or in header files like stdio.h files. So we have to just call them whenever there is a need. Means programmer don't write code for these functions. For example, putf, getf, printf, scanf, etc. The second type is user-defined functions. These functions which are created by the programmer for a specific task according to requirement. That's what it's called as user-defined function. In this video, we will focus only on user-defined functions. To define user-defined functions, we have to follow 3 steps. First step is function declaration or function prototype. Means if we are defining the function after the main function, then we have to declare the function declaration in a calling part, in calling function or in a main function. The second is we have to define the code for the function, or is known as function body or function definitions. Then whatever the code is written in function body, we have to execute them by calling the function. So there are three parts: function declaration, function definition, and calling of the function. If we define the function before the main function, then there is no need of function declaration or function prototype. Let us see first part, function declaration or function prototype. A function declaration tells the compiler about the function name and how to call the function. The function declaration has the following syntax: return type, then function name, in round bracket, the type of argument 1 or parameter 1, parameter 2 up to parameter n. Now return type specifies the data type that function should return to the calling program or calling function. It can be of any type: char, float, int, long, double, etc. If there is no return value, you can specify return type as a void also. The second is function name. Function name must be meaningful and according to identifiers rule, and must be unique. Means it should start with letter followed by letter or digit, like that. The second is parameter list. A function needs to know what kind of data it's going to accept. So it should know data type of each argument or each parameter. A function can accept any C data types, but this parameter is just like as a placeholder in declaration. For example, here return type is int, function name is max, and it accepts two parameters of type integer int a and int b. So a and b are two parameters of type integer. Parameters names are not important in function declaration. Only their type is required, because name only acts as a placeholder. So int max, int comma int also valid declaration. Second part, function definition. Function definition contains the block of the code that performs some specific task. Now this block of the code may contain local declaration, statements, and return statement. Now syntax for defining the function is return type, function name, in round bracket, a type of argument 1, argument 2 up to argument n. And in opening and closing braces, you can define the body of the function. Now the body of the function contains local variable declaration, set of statements, and special statement called as return statement. So first line of the function definition must be same as the function declaration or function prototype. They are also known as function header also. Means return type of the function, function name, and number of parameters, then type of each argument or parameter should be same as the function declaration. The second line contains local variable declaration. Means what? Variable defined in this function are local to this function only. They cannot be used outside. Now we can declare here a variable also or constant also, but these are only local to that function. Then set of statements which perform some specific task for that function. Then it contains special statement called as return statement. It transfers the control to the calling part, a calling function. It may return value or it may or may not return the value. Return statement. Every function body contains return statement. It is used to terminate the execution of a function and transfer the program control back to the calling function. In addition, it may contain a value to be returned by the function. A function may contain one or more return statements. General format of return statement is return expression, where expression is the value returned by the function. Let us see example of function definition. So we define the function max. The function name is max. Return type is int. And max function accept two parameters a and b of type int. So int a comma int b. In opening and closing braces, we write the function body. Now here we define the local variable called result of type int. We want to find maximum of two numbers, so we check the condition. If a is greater than b, then store the result in A, else store the result in a B. So result equal to A or result equal to B. The function returns the value result of type int. The third part, calling function. C program does not execute the statements in the function definition or function body until the function is called. When program calls a function, the program control is transferred to the called function. A called function performs defined tasks, and when it encounters the return statement or when it functions ending closing braces is reached, at that time control returns back to the calling part or main function. To call a function, you simply need to pass the required parameters along with the function name. And if the function returns a value, then you can store the return value into variable. Let us see all three parts of the function together. First, include the header file #include stdio.h. Now in main function, declare two variables a and b having value 100 and 200 of type integer. Then return is a variable which stores the result of the maximum of two numbers. Then we declare the function here int max, int num1 comma num2. So max is a function name which accepts two parameters int num1 and int num2 of type integer. Means num1 and num2 are of type integer. And return type of the function is int, means its function will return the value of integer type. Now here we are calling the function to get the maximum value. So here function call is here. So function call is, in function call we specify the function name max, then parameters, actual parameters a comma b, and it function returns the value. So we store that value in a variable return ret. So printf %d maximum value is %d ret and return 0. This is the main function or calling function. Now we have written function declaration, we have called the function, but we have written a function definition. So function definition is written after the main function. So in function definition, function declaration and function definition should must match. Means in function name, return type, in number of parameters and type of parameters. So here max is the function name, int is return type, and num1 and num2 of type integer type. Now this num1 in function definition body and in declaration can be different. Means variable name can be different. They are just placeholders. In function body we declare a local variable called result of type integer. We check the condition. If num1 is greater than num2, result store the num1, else result store the num2, and then return the value of this result to the calling part. So return result. Now when this function calls the function max, program control is transferred from the main function to the max function, and when in max function return statement is found, at that time the value of result is returned back to the calling function, which is collected into ret. Also one thing, in function declaration ended with semicolon as well as function call ended with semicolon, but in function body after the function header there is no semicolon. Means in function definition we don't give the semicolon. And if you write the function body before the main, if you write this function body before the main, then there is no need of function declaration in a calling part. Assignment, short questions. Define a function. What is the need of function? Then long questions. Explain the user defined functions with example. Second, write a function to find the factorial of a given number. Then write a function to check whether given number is prime or not. I hope you will like this video. Thank you for watching.